Have you ever heard the term Overwatch? It relates to providing cover for another's mission. That's a role some of you may have been called to fill. Let me tell you why and how. Hey, before we start discussing military tactics, let me welcome you to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me. I really am grateful you're here. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and also share this with a friend. Special Forces operators have a unique requirement in terms of both protection and provision. Since I was engaged in the intelligence operations of my unit, part of my role in the U.S. Marines involved tactical connections to Marine Force Recon units. That's the USMC's Special Operations Force. So I understand that Special Forces teams need to go where others can't, do what others don't, in fulfillment of the overall mission. Well, as applied to physical warfare, Overwatch is a term where one military unit positions itself to provide covering fire for another military unit while they're carrying out an element of their mission. But as applied to spiritual warfare, well, this can relate to both personal intercessory prayer for specific situations of need or danger. It can also refer to the actions of the Almighty as he watches over everyone who's faithful to him. You know, as I'm recording this, there's just no shortage of situations in the world that require the determined, deliberate, and focused prayer of believers. Some of us are like the special ops folks on the ground in some of those situations. Others of us need to take Overwatch positions and engage. You know, here are some of the messages that awaited me as I woke up over the past couple years. The capital of Afghanistan fell overnight. Christians on the ground in Kabul are desperate. Banks are out of cash. All commercial flights have been suspended. And the Taliban have taken control. People at the airport have been killed as they try to escape. Here's another one. One of my employees lost her son yesterday. She and her family were on a lake when her teenage son just took a dive and never resurfaced. She and her two younger children witnessed this, and then they were there when the body was recovered. Here's one. Father Brandon's been stricken with COVID Delta. He's in the hospital on 50 to 60 liters of oxygen. He had more complications yesterday and may be transferred to ICU. One more. Haiti has been struck by a 7.2 magnitude earthquake that killed over 1,200 people and left at least 5 times that number injured. To make matters more difficult, a tropical storm is probably going to hit the island tonight. You know, for most of us, hearing that list of messages, there would have been little, if any, direct action we could have taken. Except prayer. Yeah, you probably don't have a 747 jumbo jet you can just dispatch to Kabul or Port-au-Prince. But your prayers, they have great power in their effect for the people in those nations. Families mourning the loss of a loved one will be undergirded by your prayer because God hears the prayers of his people. God acts on behalf of his children. Today's verse says, he watches over everyone who's faithful to him. Now, does that mean that every attack is stopped? Every injury prevented? Well, obviously not. Let's face it, warfare is, by definition, a series of painful engagements with the enemy. But the weapons of our warfare are strong, they're powerful, and we need to engage them on behalf of those who are in the situations like I mentioned earlier, and many, many more. Too lengthy to list here. God is faithful. He calls us to be faithful as well. We are his hands and feet. We are the light of the world as we represent him and shine his light. As we're faithfully stepping into the situations into which he calls us, we can be encouraged by today's verse. He watches over everyone who is faithful to him. Armed Overwatch has been assigned. Warrior angels are standing by to intervene. The Holy Spirit is moving in gifts of grace and faith and healing and miracles. The work shall be done by God's faithful, and he will watch over them. God's grace will prove sufficient. One definition of grace is the ability to walk out what the truth calls you to do. Friends, that's where you and I come in. We are part of the armed Overwatch. You know, the theology that matters isn't just the theology we profess. It's the theology we practice. Belief and behavior have got to be inextricably joined if our faith is to live. What situations has God placed before you for which he's prepared you to act? How can you put your faith into practice today? Yet perhaps you can't help comfort the family of a drowning victim, but you can pray for the people who will be stepping into that role. It's not likely you can fly to the world's latest disaster with medicine or food and water. And if you can, you should. But if you can't, you could pray for those who will be doing just that. And you can support trusted ministries who've got a great track record of effective service in those sorts of situations. As followers of Jesus, we've been given both powerful weapons and significant responsibilities. And one of them is learning to fight. You're on Overwatch. Engage and stand ready. It's all the time we've got for this morning. Before you go, could I please ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew and help them get to know him and his word personally and better? Would you please like this video? Just click that button. It really will help more people see it. While you're doing that, go ahead and click follow or subscribe. That way you and I can get together every day. If you click the link in the description, I'll be happy to send you a free copy of my book, Count to One, God's Plan for Christian Unity. I'll just drop it right in your inbox for you. Easy as pie. One more thing. Do share this video with a friend, would you? Because as you do, well, that makes you part of the team, helping touch people all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.